let's try to use the quick practice, okay, to be more familiar with the box and whisker diagram topic, okay? So now take a look at the quick practice 9.5. The question told you that consider the following data, okay? Let's see how many data we have. So total we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 data here, okay? So we have the 11 data. So what we need to do is we need to find out the maximum and minimum. It's not difficult to find out, right? We have the maximum, minimum. The problem is how can we find the Q1, Q2, and Q3? So what you need to do is counting all the data, okay, and then cut it in half. So here you can see that we got 5 data on the left hand side, we got 5 data on the right hand side, so already cut it in half. So this one will be in the middle, so we will call it Q2. So now we already know that Q2 will be 28. So what is the Q1? It's the remaining half, okay? So you can see that here we got half of the data, right? This part we also cut it in half, okay? Cut it in half. So 2 data. So you can see that the Q2 will be 18. So Q1 will be 18. So we know that Q1 is 18, okay? So now we're using the same skill, okay, to find the Q3. So we'll know that Q3 will be 35, okay? So all the data are already done. Now we can draw the box and whisker diagram. So mark down Q1 18. So remember, mark on the correct position, okay, 18. Q2 is 28, then Q3 is 35, okay? Remember, using pencil and ruler to draw all the graph, okay? So we have the box, now we need to draw the whisker, okay? So 40 is the maximum, so we draw until 40. Then 13 is the minimum, so we draw until 13, okay? So that will be your box and whisker diagram. Done, A part. Now we go to the B part. B part say that state which part of the data, the lower half or the upper half, is more dispersed, okay? So take a look of this. Here, total, if we cut it into 2 parts, lower part mean here, right? Then we also have the upper part, okay? Upper part will be on the right hand side. So just take a look of this, which one will be more dispersed? So of course the lower part, right? So you just look at the graph, you will know that which one with more that dispersed. Dispersed mean more space, okay? More, the length will be much longer, okay? So we can answer the question, it will be the lower part. That's it, okay? Not difficult, right? So if you can handle, now take a look of another example, quick practice 9.6. Now here, they already help you to draw it. What you need to do is just look at the graph, look at the diagram, and answer the question. So the following box and whisker diagram show the distribution of the daily numbers of visitor. Okay, remember, it's the daily numbers of visitor. Okay, that's mean every day how many people visiting the gallery. Okay, so now we have 2 different gallery. Okay, the modern one and the Chinese one. So now A part. There is no right whisker. Yes, can you see that here? We don't have this one. We don't have the right part, okay? So what does it mean, okay? They're asking you, what does it mean? So you need to answer the question. Actually, it means what? It means that the maximum, okay, and the upper quarter is the same. Otherwise, how can you can't see the maximum? Because they are combined together, okay? So the maximum and the upper quarter of the daily visitor, daily numbers of the visitor are equal, okay? So that's why they are the same, okay? For example, I'm using another set of the data to explain to you, okay? For example, I give you the data like that. I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, okay? Total 10 data here, okay? So we need to find out the Q2. Q2 mean the middle of them, right? So let's try to find it. We have 5 data here, 5 data here. So this is in the middle, okay? This one will be Q2. So we'll have the Q2 equal to 5. Then we need to find out the Q1. Then we'll also find the Q3, okay? So Q3 is 6, Q1 is 3. If I really need to draw the box and whisker diagram, okay, remember on scale, okay? So we'll have the 3, 4, 5, 6. So we will have the Q1, Q2, Q3. Then maximum is 6 again. Can you see that? 6 again. So that means I can't extend because the maximum didn't approach to 7, right? So the maximum also 6. So I can only draw here. Okay, also 6. Okay, then minimum is 1. So I can draw 1. Okay, so I draw until 1. So here, can you see that? So this is why we don't have the right hand side whisker, because it's the same. The maximum one same as the Q3 one. Okay, it doesn't mean that the data are less. The data is the same, but we have the same data keep repeating only. Okay, so now let's go to the B part. B part asking you that which art gallery have more visitor. So take a look of this. Of course, more visitor will be the modern one. See, because we got, can you see that? We got 2,200 something. Okay, a lot of almost more than 50%. Okay, we have more than 1,800 people visiting that. Of course, we have more, right? So the answer will be the modern art gallery. Then which art gallery have more stable number? Then it will be Chinese art gallery. Because why? More stable mean that the data will be more regular. Okay, won't be a change a lot. Okay, so you can see that the Chinese art gallery will be more stable because every day there are around 200 to 800 visitors were coming. Okay, so this is 9.6. How to read the data, okay, from the Box-and-Whisker diagram. So last one, quick practice 9.7. Okay, so the following Box-and-Whisker diagram show the distribution of time taken by groups of the student to finish a physical test. Okay, so find the range again. Range, I hope that you still remember how can we find the range. Range, we will using the maximum, okay, minus the minimum. So you just write it down. Is 130 minus 72. Okay, so this is how can you find the range, right? After you finding the range, now let's try to find the interquartile range. Okay, interquartile range. So how can we find the interquartile range? Interquartile range just using the Q3 minus the Q1. Okay, so Q3 will be 125, then minus the Q1 95. Okay, so using the calculator, help yourself to find the answer. So it will be 58 and 30. Don't forget the unit second, okay? Because they also mentioned that those data have the unit second. Got it? So now we go to the B part. So let's see what B part asks for. B part say that after a training program, okay, the longest time taken by the student. So be careful about this. Longest time. In here, longest time, of course, talking about the maximum one, right? So this one will be the longest time. So the longest time taken by the student to finish the physical test is 4 seconds less. That means good. We have 4 seconds less, okay, minus 4 than the before. The trainer claimed that at least 25% of the students show improvement. So do you agree? Explain your answer. So now is we need to find out, okay, after the training, what is the maximum data, okay? So you need to say that after training, okay, the maximum time will be what? Will be 130 minus 4. So it will be 126 seconds. Okay, so where will be the 126 seconds? It will be at here. Okay, at here. That will be 126 seconds because 125 is here. So tell me, if I jump from here to here, is it at least 25 students? Of course no, right? I just remind you before, every part of them carry 25%. So here is 25%. So you can see that you can't even jump into another session. How can you got at least 25%? So it will be less than 25% will be more accurate. So how can we answer the question? We say that, we can say like that, okay? We call that 126 seconds is more than upper quarter, or you just say that Q3, okay? Q3 125 seconds. So therefore there are less than 25% of the student show improvement. Okay, so this is how can you explain your answer. So, but don't forget that they're asking you, do you agree? So you need to say yes or no first. Okay, do you agree? No. Okay, there are less than 25% of the students show improvement. So how about explain your answer? Where you can explain the answer? This part. Okay, here already show the explain part. Okay, here show that do you agree or not. Okay, remember that you need to answer both of them. Okay, so this is very typical question in DSE. Okay, so tomorrow